everybody, and welcome back into the Cougar Cage. We Smelser report as we get ready for game number 2 of the Cougar Holiday Classic. The College of the Canyons Cougars and the Orange Coast College Pirates here on a Friday in Santa Clarita. Happy to have you along. I'm Matt Robinson. As we saw a good one in the first game, 79-77. Mount Sac came out on top over LA Trade Tech, and they moved into the Cougar Holiday Classic final. These two teams trying to find their way into the Cougar Holiday Classic final as well. Take a look at the Clash bracket real quick as College of the Canyons and Orange Coast in that second game of the Clash bracket here at 7 p.m. We'll get going. Orange Coast 4-9 on the season. College of the Canyons 2-9. Get you starting rosters real fast here. Chris Obajulu gonna start along with Gavin Wilson, Yahia Hussein, Titus Blunshaw, and Julian DeBoule. Donovan Cornelius, Wyatt Wilson, Donovan Chapman, Justin Perez, and Roz Orbach, the starters for College of the Canyons. So we are ready to get underway. COC in their whites moving to our left, Orange Coast in the blues moving to our right. Wilson and DeBoule to jump. Tip won by Orange Coast. Ball sloppily bounces around and then finds Hussein, who will send it out high to DeBoule. Will go to work against Wilson here. DeBoule to his left. Dumps it off to Obiajulu. Got it to Titus Bloodshaw. Bloodshaw wearing 5 today instead of what is his number listed on the roster, which is 20. There's DeBoule with a good bucket to start things off. So Julian DeBoule, 9 points per game on the season. Knocks it down. Orange Coast without Ronnie Davis, it seems, as Davis is their usual number 5, as Donovan Chapman knocks down a 3. The Canyons has a 3-2 lead. Davis averages 20.3 points per game. I think I see him over there on the bench with a boot on, so that's a tough loss for Orange Coast. They'll go without him as they trail 3-2 here. Just underway from Lee Smelser Court inside the Cougar Cage, College of the Canyons and Orange Coast College, as there's Bloodshaw with a putback that's good. A 4-3 lead. Canyons quickly outlet ahead. Roz Orbach, an elbow jumper in transition is good. Orbach, who averages 10 points a game, knocks it down. It's the Canyons team. We didn't get to give you much of a pregame, as normally we have a national anthem beforehand, but we did not get one because we had it before the first game. So we'll try and give you a little bit of a pregame as we go on. Here's Bloodshot trying to work. Step back jumper, no good. Air ball saved by Orange Coast, and Hussein will get it up to DeBoule with 5 to shoot. Spins back in the lane, threw one up, knocked down by Chapman. Chapman the other way, and airball the layup. Chapman kind of got in between, didn't know if he wanted to dunk or lay it in. There's Donovan Cornelius with a steal coming back. Canyons will try and go back to work on the offensive side. Well, back and forward sloppily here to start. Both these teams have had some time off. They both last played on the 18th of December. Both were losses. Orange Coast to settle back 79-61. Canyons to Rio Hondo 82-79. Here's a 3 from Wyatt Wilson that's good. Wilson, his 8th 3 of the season, just a 21% three-point shooter. Knocks it down, and it's a 4-point Canyons lead here. Orange Coast with 5 fresh bodies up. Orange Coast just 10 players today. They're dealing with some injuries, it seems. Biajulu from the foul line, it's good. Biajulu averages 8.6 points per game on 43% foul shooting, or free throw or field goal shooting, excuse me. Chapman an air ball 3. Wilson picks it up. Now Perez, who's the sharpshooter for Canyons. Leads the team in points per game. Got it to Raz Orbach. Orbach trying to back down Daboul and draws a foul. Talking about pregame here, Canyons, they need to shoot the three well. That's really what the Cougars have done this season effectively. They shoot 34.9% from three, which is 21st in the state. And that's really, they live or die by that three-pointer. Talk about the other side for Orange Coast, they really have to be effective defensively. Right now, Orange Coast, they give up 82.6 points per game, which is 92nd in the state. They only average 72.1, so they have to find a way to be effective defensively here against this Canyons team that has times struggled on the offensive side. There's an Orbach three that's no good. A foul on the floor away from the basketball on the rebound attempt, and it'll be Canyons' ball here. Head coach for College of the Canyons, Howard Fisher, in his 22nd year. Steve Smelser in his 19th year for Orange Coast, two of the most tenured coaches in the 3C2A. Canyons will get it inbound to Orbach, an 8-6 Canyons lead. Wilson will get it to Chapman, block extended, working against Urabazo. Couldn't get it to fall. Here's Urabazo once again. Got it over to Myers. Myers, as they work inside, an easy bucket that time for Michael Carabin. And we're even up at 8-all. Orange Coast stays in a full court press, and they create a turnover off the inbound. Perez gonna come off the floor. Elad Zigel comes in. Coast with the basketball. Urabazo. Send it near side. Clement. He'll put up a three over the top of Orbach that's too strong. Chapman skies, pulls down the rebound, but he's fouled from behind by Myers. Already the third foul on Orange Coast. This is a Canyons team that's exceptional at drawing fouls. This season, they've drawn 21.9 personal fouls against per game. That's first in the state. They've also committed 20.5, which is 93rd in the state, so lots of fouls expected in pretty much every Canyons game. They've already drawn 3 so far here today. Here's Orbach in an 8-8 game. Drives, dumps it. Chapman to the basket, lays it in. Donovan Chapman with 5 points to start here. As Canyons back with a 10-8 lead. Thank you for joining us. Here's the second game of the Cougar Holiday Classic. Bloodshaw, 3 no good. Wilson, an easy rebound. Sends it far side to Donovan Cornelius. Ahead Zigel. Zigel spinning. Back to Cornelius now straight away between the rings. He drives, jump stops in the lane, kicks it out. Wing 3 for Chapman, no good. Offensive rebound tipped out off of Orbach. And it'll go with Orange Coast here as they go with 5 fresh once again. We've seen this from Steve Smelser in previous years at the Cougar Holiday Classic. He will just rotate lines, essentially, up and down the floor every time he gets an opportunity to. And you see it here as he goes with 5 fresh. Perez did not get in the game here, as he was trying to get to the table. Myers sends it far side. Carabin trying to drive. Jump stops at the block, had it blocked by Zigel as he tried to throw a pass, then got it back and put it in. Carabin with 4 points here to start. Michael Carabin, 7.6 points per game this season on average. Shoots 43% from the floor, 25 of 57 coming in. He's 2 for 2 here today, both inside the painted area. Canyons, good work inside to Wilson, good passing. Wilson gets his second bucket of the ball game. He's perfect from the field, 2 for 2. He's got 5 points. And Canyons with a 12-10 lead here. Here's a 3 on the way, no good. Clement couldn't knock it down. Cornelius back ahead. Euro step in the lane, count it. And a timeout on the floor. And actually, it's a foul on Orange Coast. A technical foul on Orange Coast. And again, Orange Coast will bring in everybody. Not sure what the foul was. It's marked at Sawyer Clement, his second. Donovan Chapman, who is an 80% foul shooter, 48th best in the state, misses on his opportunity. 37 of 47 now on the season. It'll be Orange Coast basketball. I guess it was a foul on the made bucket away from the basket. There's the Bull, will leave it off. Wilson now. It'll be a Julu now. Or excuse me, Hussein, trying to drive. Foul line jumper, no good. Rebound pulled down by Orbach. Stacey Webb into the game for the first time. He'll run it ahead. Webb will get it to Orbach. Extra pass into the corner. Perez for three. Hit the side of the backboard. Ziegel got knocked down. No reset here for Canyons as they'll go back to work, though, with plenty of time on the shot clock. Chapman lost it, but it bounced right to Roz Orbach, who lays it in. Chapman tried to dribble behind his back. You'll get credit kind of with an assist there as Orbach gets the bucket. Orbach with 4. Canyons with a 6-point lead, their largest of the day. Orange Coast with 5 fresh bodies up at the bench once again, up at the table once again. Here's a DeBoule jumper over the top of Orbach that's good. Orange Coast still in their full court press. Canyon's gonna break it this time with Ziegel. Get it in the corner to Perez. Now to Wilson. Over to Chapman. Chapman on the near wing. Inside Orbach, just outside the block. Got it to Chapman, who's cutting. Threw it off the window, trying to draw contact. Didn't get it to fall. And back the other way comes Orange Coast here. Foul gonna be called against Orbach down low. It's a good cut from Chapman, a beautiful vision from Orbach on the pass. And Chapman just couldn't finish, and we'll get substitutions. Mo Pitts, Wyatt Wilson back into the game. Wholesale changes for Orange Coast once again. We'll try and keep track of it as much as we can, but it's hard when they send 5 fresh onto the floor each and every time. Carabin to bring it in. Jumper no good from Rabazo. Pitts nearly had it stolen. Orange Coast still in that full court press. Canyon's able to break it. Webb trying the jump stop move underneath the basket. Fouled, and he'll go to the line. Good work from Stacey Webb that time. And of course, our replay is not working, so get that dialed in. Looks like it's working. Webb makes 56% of his foul shots this year. Missed on the first. Missed on the second. Clement with the rebound. Wilson will bring it ahead. Wilson pointing directions here. We'll send to Clement. Clement against Perez. Tries to feed it inside. Obiajulu. No basket. Foul on the floor. Called against Obiajulu for the hook, as he hooked Wilson to get around him. Gets it across the timeline. Webb will send it to Wilson. Wilson will put up a wide open look for 3 that's too strong. Goes over the backboard, now to play. It'll be Orange Coast basketball. So both these teams working off a little bit of rust. To start here, it's a 16-12. Canyons lead about halfway through the first half. Carabin with the basketball here. We'll ship it near side to Wilson. Wilson takes Webb off the dribble, tried to zip a pass down low to Obiajulu. Sent it out of play. It'll be Canyons basketball. We'll get substitutions here. Just a single substitution for Orange Coast. It's Julian DeBull back in. Take over for Gavin Wilson. Pitts turns that one over, trying to pass it to Webb. Carabin will kick it back. DeBull for three is good. DeBull, who just his fifth three of the season, 22% from three, knocks it down. And it's a 1-point game. Canyons around the perimeter here. Wilson stepped on the baseline. And it's a turnover on Canyons. Canyons averaging 15 turnovers per game. It's 55th in the state. So right about middle of the pack. Here's DeBull trying to give Orange Coast a lead. Sends it to Obiajulu, trying to take Wilson off the dribble. Stops at the block, spins around. Little 6-footer that's no good. DeBull with the offensive board, and he's found underneath by Galadzigel. And it'll send DeBull to the line for foul shots, an 84% foul shooter this year, 16 of 19. He'll go to work. They give it to Chapman, actually, underneath. First two from Julian DeBull is good. DeBull averages 9 points a game. He's got 38 steals this year, which is fourth most in California. This is an Orange Coast team, like we said, without heavy amount of power in Ronnie Davis, who's their leading scorer by a mile, averages 20 points a game. 20 of their 72 a game come from him. No other player for Orange Coast averaging double figures this season. DeBull made the first. Second, misses. Offensive board, and the putback is there for Sawyer Clement. And Orange Coast has an 18-16 lead, their first lead of the ball game. Canyons turns it over. Orange Coast does the same. So it's 17-16. We're missing a bucket from Orange Coast. Wilson blocked down low, will go to the line. So we'll stay at 16-16. I'm very confused by the score right now. We'll get that for you. Wilson to the line for two. So it should be 17 all. Obiajulu back into the game. Second is no good, so we should be even at 17 all. Now Orange Coast has an 18-17 lead off of a bucket. It should be 19-17. from what my calculations are. Chapman gets called for the foul, his second. Timeout called by someone, I don't know who. So for now, we go 18-17 in favor of Orange Coast. It'll be Ajulu with the basketball. Sends it to Wilson. Now Clement puts one off the window and good. Orange Coast now with the moment of three-point advantage. They stay in their full court press. Canyons needing to get it across the timeline. They do. Underneath the basket, Chapman wide open, lays it in. Wilson a three, and Canyons back in the lead. (22-20) as Wilson knocks down a three. Ajulu gets it back to 22 all. Canyons gets the ball back. Here's Ziegel driving ahead. Orbach gonna lay it in. Canyons with a 1-point lead, or a 2-point lead, excuse me. 24-22, 6:50 to go. There's Orange Coast back to work offensively. Foul going to be called as Urbanzo draws it. Urbanzo makes the first. second is good. We're even at 24 all. So I think they're now it says 25-22. Ziegel back the other side. Then a foul called as Cornelius will get to the line. Cornelius to the line, shoots the first, it's good. 77% foul shooter on the year. All right, so they say they're good with the score now. It's 25-24. I still don't think that's correct, but okay, I'm not the scorer, so we'll go with this. Chapman makes the second. 26-24. Biajulu got by Orbach. Orbach looks like he jammed his finger. And we're even at 26 all. 6:03 to go here. Webb gonna work through. Wilson, 12-footer, no good. Biajulu now back the other way for Orange Coast. They'll send it into the corner. 3 no good. As Hussein tried to knock it down. Webb back the other way here. So slow things up, 5:35 to go. Orbach didn't catch that one. Perez gonna replace Wilson here. Obiajulu now. Kicks it back to Clement, who knocks down a 3. It's a 3-point Orange Coast lead, 29-26. Pitts will collect the ball. Dumps it off underneath. Chapman draws contact. And Chapman will go to the line for 2. Chapman to the line to shoot 2 here. First was no good from Chapman. struggling from the line here today. Makes the second. Chapman 1 of 3 from the line, usually an 80% foul shooter. So a 2-point Orange Coast lead. 4:55 to go. Obiajulu a 3, no good. Perez trying to hustle for the loose ball. Got it to Chapman. Chapman then lost it out of play. Howard Fisher, unhappy, hops up off the bench as he thought maybe there should have been a foul called. And we'll put 20 seconds for Orange Coast on the shot clock here. It's Justin Perez trying to gather himself. Hussein now. Pitts was in his jersey for a second there. Obiajulu now will send it to the corner. 3 on the way, no good. Webb skies for the rebound. Uses his body to protect the ball, brings it ahead, and then he's fouled running up the floor. That'll send Webb to the line for 2. It's the 3rd foul on Myers. Two shots for Stacy Webb. Canyons trailing 29-27 at the moment. Webb makes the first. Again, this is a Canyons team. They get to the line a lot. 18.4 foul shots made per game. 7th most in the state. 25.6 foul shots attempted, which is 6th most in the state. They shoot 71.6% as a team. They'll get to the line again as Chapman this time gets himself to the line. But 71.6 is 21st in the state. They're 202 for 282 coming into today, which is 26th most. And today you can add 5 of 11 to their number. Foul goes against Michael Carabin. Chapman, who is usually an 80% foul shooter, 1 of 3, 1 of 4 now today. Something off with Donovan Chapman. Ever since he missed that layup early, he has looked kind of like he's trying to settle himself in here. Missed a technical foul shot. Or not a technical foul shot, I think it was just a single foul shot. Misses both. So an empty set and a 1-point game. 29-28. Orange Coast leading. Bull sends it down low. Bloodshaw off the glass, no good. Got his own rebound. Webb steals it from him, though. Chapman will dribble it ahead. Chapman looking for help. Spins in the lane, puts it off the window. Chapman should be into double figures, and Canyons with a 30-29 lead. Hussein draws a foul on Wilson. Both these teams on 4-game losing streaks coming in. Hussein, a 66% foul shooter, to the line for 2. Misses the first. Donovan Cornelius, Roz Orbach back in. Titus Bloodshot coming off the floor. Second of 2 is good, so we're even at 30 all. And an offensive foul called against Canyons here. Chapman going to check off. Kyron Gates coming in, seeing his first action of the ball game. 3:02 to go here in the first half. 30 all, Canyons and Orange Coast. Hussein loses the basketball, and it'll go with Canyons. Neither team very efficient from 3 today. Canyons 3 of 9, Orange Coast 2 of 9. As a turnover by Mo Pitts, just trying to sling it down low before he fell out of bounds. Orange Coast right back to work. Canyons 5 turnovers in the ball game unofficially. Julu will back it off for the moment. DeBull now trying to drive against Orbach, instead kicked it over to Hussein's 3. That's no good. And it's Canyons basketball tipped out off of Obiajulu. Gates will try a corner 3, no good. Pitts and DeBull crashed into one another on the rebound. DeBull able to come away with it. He'll run it ahead. Obiajulu, block extended jumper, no good. Webb the rebound, got it to Orbach. Orbach will throw it over to Cornelius. Cornelius, Pitts, wing 3 in transition, no. Short, rebound Wilson. Orange Coast right now out rebounding Canyons, 19-18 unofficially. This is an Orange Coast team that gets out rebounded by 13 boards a game. Canyons gets out rebounded by 2. But Orange Coast so far the better of it here in this one. For the moment by 1 as an air ball 3 from DeBull keeps it at 30 all with 1:23 to go. Gates to Pitts. Pitts back towards Gates. Stolen by Hussein. Inside of 60 seconds to go. Wilson knocked out off of Canyons, they say. Perez back at the table will check in. Take over for Mo Pitts. Steve Spencer going to call a timeout. So 51 seconds to go here between Orange Coast and College of the Canyons. Take a look at the numbers. We wanted to bring you before the game. We never got to that. If you look at the numbers between these two teams, both averaging 72 points a game. Canyons a little bit better on the floor in terms of field goal percentage at 41.7. They're a lot better at three-point shooting percentage, 34.9. You see the rebounds and the efficiencies about this, I mean, pretty close, the net efficiencies. 0.076 in the negative for Canyons, 0.087 in the negative for Orange Coast. So pretty even matchup, and we've seen that so far. Both teams 30 points. Orange Coast 11 of 31 from the floor unofficially. Canyons 11 of 25 unofficially. Be Orange Coast basketball out of the timeout. Bonzo will dump it off for DeBoule. DeBoule trying to work against Orbach. The block still working, trying to force Orbach down. Now bumps him down to the floor. Orbach jumping right back up. DeBoule going to get a basket. Howard Fisher upset. Wanted a foul on DeBoule inside. Orange goes with a 2-point lead, 32-30. 20 seconds to go here in the first half. Orbach has the ball knocked out of his hands. Perez picked it up. Perez, who is yet to score today, gets it back and will go to the line. So Perez will go to the line. Perez so far 0 for 2 from the floor. He's the leading scorer for Canyons this season. Averages 15.6 points per game. Has started the season with 11 straight games in double figures, but so far has not had a point in the first half. Misses on the first foul shot. Perez, an 80% foul shooter, 46th in the state, 80.5%, but misses on the first. Makes the second. That's his first point of the ball game. Vlad Zigel coming in to take over for Roz Orbach. 15.8 to go. Canyons in a press here. It's a 32-31 lead. 5 seconds to go. Urabanzu puts up a three that's short, and that'll end the first half. 32-31 Orange Coast leading Canyons. We'll head to the halftime break here from Lee Smelser Court inside the Cougar cage.
Welcome to College of the Canyons, where students become the success stories of tomorrow. Whether you're already in the workforce or just getting started, our flexible schedules are a game changer. And students don't just earn degrees. They catapult into desirable careers in top 4-year universities for just $46 per unit. Quality education without crushing debt. Ditch the cookie-cutter mold of college and make college work for you. Register now at canyons.edu/schedule.
The Jersey Mike's catering box is the easiest way to feed your friends. The hard part is picking your sub. That's why we're having a draft. With the first pick, Sarah from Carolina selects number 13, the original Italian.
You know, I trusted my gut, and that's exactly where the sub's gonna go, so.
Hold on, we've got a trade. Jake traded his second pick with me, because I'm starved.
Freshly sliced subs to go, wherever you and your friends go. Jersey Mike's, a sub above.
Whether we're on the move or stuck in one place, it's with us, comforting, healing, and transforming lives. It's the power of you. With 4 world-class hospitals and over 170 clinics across Southern California, together, we're building a healthier community. We're your neighbors, your friends, your family. It begins with you. UCLA Health.
Can I get it Mike's way? What's happening?
And your free sub. Enjoy.
That was super weird.
Oh, that? Nah. She just used the shore points you can now earn from chip and drink purchases to get a free sub through the app. Download the Jersey Mike's app and earn rewards towards free subs with every sub, Pepsi, and Lay's you purchase.
Make hosting your next event easy with the Dr. Diane G. Van Hook University Center. With over 30 meeting spaces, wireless video teleconferencing capabilities, food service, and technical support available, the University Center has everything you need to make your next event shine. Conveniently located near the 5 and 14 freeways in Santa Clarita, the University Center offers easy access to local airports and many attractions, making it the ideal meeting place for everyone. To learn more about our rental options or to book now, visit canyons.edu/University Center.
Welcome back, Inley Smelser court inside the Cougar cage. College of the Canyons and Orange Coast College, a 32-31 Orange Coast lead. Canyons starting with the basketball here. They have it stripped as Wyatt Wilson had it taken away. Obiajulu blocked by Chapman as he went up. Canyons quickly back out the other way. It was kind of at times a sloppy first half between both these teams. It's both on 4-game losing streaks, as we mentioned early on, trying to snap that and get into the Holiday Classic final here, the 34th Cougar Holiday Classic. Perez, who's quiet today, just 1 point, misses on that shot from inside. He's 0 for 3 from the floor today. It stays a 1-point Orange Coast lead for the moment. Obiajulu on the far side will get it to DeBoule. DeBoule now into the hands of Bloodshaw. Bloodshaw, stutter step, driving off the window and good. Count it, and the foul goes against Perez. As they say, Perez's feet were inside the restricted area. Take another look here as Bloodshaw against Orbach, just kind of a, and I think just Perez, he was outside the restricted area. He just slid at the last second. Be the first foul against Perez. It's a 3-point lead as Bloodshaw, who's a 58% foul shooter, to the line. Makes it, and make it a 4-point game here. 35-31, Orange Coast leading. Wilson will send it to Cornelius, now into the corner to Chapman, underneath Orbach. Missed it as he was underneath and pressured. And Orange Coast back the other way. Bloodshot catches down low, gets it to DeBoule on the near wing. He'll step into a 15-footer that's good. And Orange Coast on a 5-0 run here to start. Orbach throws it away. And Howard Fisher calls a timeout. Canyons didn't get out for any warm-ups before the second half. They were in the locker room till the buzzer sounded, and they come out flat here, trailing by 6 now. 18. Orange Coast with a 37-31 lead in the basketball. Canyons sluggish start to the second half. Cougars 11 of 27 from the floor. Orange Coast 14 of 36 from the floor. Canyons coming out in a press here against Orange Coast. Obiajulu will break it. Corner 3, no good. Wilson, an uncontested rebound. Canyons was still working to get back into their defensive position here. Now Wilson against Orbach, runs into him. Now we'll send it out high. Hussein driving into the paint. Blocking foul called. Count it for Hussein. Orbach gonna get called for it, and really it was just kind of Orbach cruising through the space and got run into. But you can see Hussein around Chapman. Orbach was there and never got his feet set, never got squared up. So a chance for another 3-point play as Yahia Hussein will go to the line. 39-31, Hussein makes it, make it a 9-point advantage. 40-31 in favor of Orange Coast. As Canyons struggling here to start in the second half, have yet to score. They still have not scored as Orbach had it knocked away as he went up. Couldn't just put it home. This is some of that size disadvantage, I think, playing into Canyons' struggles right now, as the Cougars do not have a lot of size. They turn it over on the inbound play. They get a turnover the other way, though, as they take it away from Orange Coast. Here's Cornelius. Elbow jumper on the way, no. Rebound tapped out to Wilson. Wilson back into the corner to Chapman. Chapman to Orbach, block extended. Orbach working inside, puts one up and in. Good work that time from Roz Orbach as he gets the bucket. It breaks a 9-0 run to start, or an 8-0 run, excuse me, to start. Liajulu kicks it back to Boole, uncontested three on the way, no good. Rebound goes out off of Chapman as him and Bloodshaw were cruising through to try and find the basketball. Chapman 10 points, 7 boards. Wilson 9 points, 6 boards for Canyons. DeBoule 12 points, 5 rebounds to lead the way for Orange Coast. Here's Carabin now. They'll get it to Gavin Wilson. Now to Carabin again. Back up to Wilson. Over to DeBoule. Extra pass over to Hussein, who tries to drive. Goes up against Wilson. Counted in the foul for Hussein once again. Yeah, Hussein starting to heat it up. He's got 8, a chance to get to the line for 9. You see him driving. Wilson picks up his 3rd foul. So 42-33, a chance to get it to a 10-point lead. Hussein misses, Wilson the rebound. Nearly had it taken out of his hand by Hussein. Got it to Cornelius. Cornelius has to throw it over to Perez. Perez driving to the basket, lays it in. Seven-point Orange Coast lead here. Hussein. Step back 3 on the way, no. Perez and Chapman both going for the rebound. Chapman pulls it down. Chapman running it ahead. 2 big strides to the basket and lays it in. Canyons back within 5 now. Starting to find their legs here in the second half. The Bull to Wilson, who slows it up. Wilson needs to put it on the floor as he's guarded tightly here by Cornelius. Has plenty of time to get it over to DeBoule. DeBoule now to Obiajulu. 8 to shoot here for Orange Coast. Now 5. Obiajulu driving against Chapman. Puts up a jumper. And it falls. Hit every part of the rim it possibly could before falling in. Canyons up the floor. They need to do something here. They have not shot the 3 well today, and that is really what they need to do well to compete. Cornelius will get himself to the line for a pair of foul shots. Canyons just 3 of 11 from 3. Orange Coast 17 of 42 from the floor, 2 of 15 from 3. Both teams with 6 foul shots made as Donovan Cornelius will go to the line. His second trip today. He's 2 for 2 on his first trip. Give him 5 points now in the ball game. Subs for Orange Coast. Rios along with 2 others, and I can't see who they are right now. So I think Cade Meyer is one of them. That is indeed one of them, and Sawyer Clement the other. CeCe Webb coming out to take over for Justin Perez, who's been quiet today with just 3 points. Perez, 11 straight games with 10 or more points to start the season. Has not done anything here today, really. Chapman a steal. Cornelius counted in the foul. Canyons now trying to get it back within a one-possession game. Chapman with a nice steal that time. Good dump off to Cornelius, who just muscles his way to the basket, draws the foul from Clement. He'll go to the line for the three-point play to try and make it a two-point game here. 44-41. Orange Coast was out to an 8-0 run, but Canyons back within two now. There's Daboul with the basketball. Webb trying to guard him tightly. Canyons in a soft press here. Orange Coast able to break it. Bloodshot trying to drive baseline. Carabin stepped on the end line. It's Canyons basketball. Turnover on Orange Coast. 8th turnover in the ball game on the Pirates here. Canyons nearly throws it away on the inbound again. Get it inside to Wilson on the inbound. Had it stripped by Wilson. So Wyatt Wilson has it taken away by Gavin Wilson. Gavin Wilson ahead. Throws it off to Daboul. Down low, Bloodshaw. Bloodshaw called for a travel as he spins around down low. Canyons just fires it ahead. Webb trying to save it, throws it away. Carabin underneath Daboul. Count it for Daboul. Ziegel trying to draw the charge, didn't get there. Orange Coast has come back out in a full court press of their own here. Now they trap Webb, who's going to be called for a travel. George Abdelnour coming in for the first time today. 14:20 to go, 46-42. Orange Coast leading Canyons. Here's Wilson, will dump it off, Carabin. Back to Clement, now to Wilson. Foul away from the basketball, a moving screen called on Hussein. His second. It's an OCC turnover this time. Canyons able to get it in. Webb will bring it up the floor. Hussein trying to trap him. Got it to Cornelius. Wilson to Abdelnour. Abdelnour lost his shoe. Cornelius picks it up. Sends it to Chapman. Chapman a corner three on the way. No. A foul under the basket. It's a double foul possession arrow with Orange Coast here. So one of the fouls goes against Cornelius. I think the other, I have no idea who the other went on, but it was a double foul and a possession arrow. Is what I think I heard him say from way up here. Miss from Daboul, rebound for Chapman, who's got 9 boards now. There's Abdelnour underneath, misses. Tie up. Possession arrow for Canyons, even though the arrow on the table was wrong. We'll get substitutions here. Carabin coming out. Myers coming in. Canyons gets it to Abdelnour off the inbound. He has it knocked away from him. It goes out off of Orange Coast. It'll stay with Canyons here. Abdelnour catches out high. Drops to Cornelius. He was tripped up. Bijulu gets the foul. Just his second. There's Chapman. Foul on the inlet pass, called against Myers, and I believe that's his fifth. So Myers off the floor, end his day. No points, 5 fouls. Canyons will get it into Abdelnour. Orbach will put up a 3 that's short. Abdelnour the rebound. Trying to get it back to Orbach. It goes off of Orange Coast. It'll stay with Canyons here. Cougars will get it into Webb. Chapman tries to get it into Orbach, back to Chapman. Counted in the foul. Excuse me, for Donovan Cornelius that time. Cornelius doing some work to get in. Take another look. Cornelius catches here, battles the body. Orbach battling against DeBoule, and then a good pass from Orbach to Cornelius, who lays it in. And Cornelius can get it to a 1-point game here. Cornelius now with 11 points, 5 of 5 from the line today. Him and Chapman leading the way, 12 and 11 respectively. And the broadcaster jinx works in full effect as Cornelius misses. Perez couldn't save it. Obiajulu draws a blocking foul against Donovan Cornelius, and it will stay a 46-44 game for the moment. Canyon shooting foul shots the rest of the way as they're in the bonus. That's only the 5th foul on Canyons, so a couple more fouls before Orange Coast gets to that. Hussein, a 3, too much on it. Orbach skies for the rebound, and then trying to pass it to Webb, had it knocked away by Carabin. This is an Orange Coast team that's 6th in the state in steals per game at 11.5. They do a good job in terms of heavy pressure creating takeaways. The opponents this season have turned the ball over 22 times, 22 and a half times in games against Orange Coast. That's second most turnovers created this season for the Pirates. So they create another one right there. So for Canyons, you've got to really find a way to protect the basketball. Offensive foul for a moving screen on Orange Coast. Goes against Gavin Wilson, his second. Canyons with 12 turnovers in the ball game. Webb will be able to bring it up with a little bit less pressure this time as Hussein backs off. Here's Perez. Gets it to Orbach. Orbach inlet towards Abdelnour. Extra pass. Cornelius for 3 in the lead, and Canyons has it. 47-46. Donovan Cornelius heating up. He's got 14 now. And then on the other side, Orange Coast gets the bucket from Clement to put them back in the lead, 48-47. Obiajulu gets called for a foul. Third foul on Obiajulu will send Cornelius to the line. Bloodshot to come in for Carabin here. DeBoule back at the table to come in to take over for Looks like Gavin Wilson. And Donovan Cornelius, 1-1, has a chance to give Canyons the lead, at least tie the game if he can make the first. Misses on it. Perez the rebound, though, and Canyons back to work offensively. .17 on the shot clock. They needed to get a reset on it here. So Canyons will have to inbound. This is where Canyons has struggled a little bit today. They're able to get it in that time. Webb working off the Abdel-Noor screen. 2 big steps into the paint. Kicks it, Cornelius. Corner 3 is good! Check Donovan Cornelius here. He's got 17 a season high, and Canyons back with a 2-point lead. Back-to-back games over 10 points for Cornelius. Back-to-back games with season highs. It's actually his 4th straight game with 10 or more points. Abdel-Noor, good defense that time. Clement lost the ball, got it back, gets it to Bloodshot. Working against Orbach, it goes out off of Bloodshot. It's Canyons basketball. And a timeout called by Orange Coast. A full timeout will break as well. 50-48, Canyons leading with 10:55 to go here from Lee Smelser Court at the 34th Annual Cougar Holiday Classic. So back-to-back stellar games from Donovan Cornelius. 16 points, 5 boards, 4 assists in 37 minutes in the loss to Rio Hondo. Tonight, 17 points, an assist in 22 minutes. He's 5 of 6 from the floor, 2 of 2 from 3, 5 of 7 from the foul line. As his season high in points. He's played over 20 minutes in every game this season. And his 2 for 2 today snaps an 0 for 6 from 3 streak over the last 4 games coming into today. It's Canyons basketball out of the timeout, 10:55 to go. Coast in a full court press as they have been for most of the day here. Canyons going to be able to break it. Webb with speed underneath. How is that not a foul? As Chapman got run into from behind by DeBoule and bumped off his spot, but we play on. Orange Coast into a half-court offense. DeBoule trying to back down Chapman. Gets it to Obiajulu for 3, rattles in and out. Ball still loose, pulled down by Orbach. Got it to Cornelius. Over to Chapman. Corner 3 on the way. Flat, rebound, Orbach. A reset here for Canyons. Orbach to Chapman. Now to Webb. Webb will back things off. Webb, a very slick guard for Canyons. Only averages 6 points a game, but handles the ball for the Cougars quite well when he's in there. Perez driving baseline. Had it knocked out of his hands. Canyons will have 1 to shoot here. Both teams with 4 times out remaining. Here in the game with 9:56, Canyons will have to catch and shoot. Perez gets it off in time, but missed it. Perez wide open for the look. He's just had a tough day today. 1 for 5 from the floor. Just 3 points. DeBoule now in a 2-point game. We'll get it over to Yahia Hussein. Now up to Obiajulu. Taken away by Cornelius. Ahead on a bounce pass to Perez, who lays it off the window. And a timeout called by Orange Coast. Steve Smelser wants to talk it over. It's a 4-point Cougar lead. 9:31 to go. (52-48), Canyons leading Orange Coast here. 9:30 to go. Canyons trailed at half, then trailed by as much as 10 here in the second half, but they've turned it on. Found their legs here on this rotation. Have created some opportunities off of takeaways. They've really put Orange Coast on their heels. They try and get back to work. Clement thought about a three, now tries to drive against Chapman. Throws one up, doesn't get it to fall, but he'll get himself to the line. Blocking foul on Chapman is third. The replay never started back up. We apologize for that. First of two from Clement is good. Clement today 8 points. This is his first trip to the line. It's an 85% foul shooter. Trying to make it a 2-point game. It's a 1-possession game at the moment. Now it's a 2-point game, 52-50. Here's Orbach from the foul line. Got it to Chapman. Off the window and good. Chapman stays hot as well. He's got 14. Donovan Chapman, third straight game with 10 points. At 11 against Rio Hondo in 21 minutes. Offensive foul called against Orange Coast on what would have been a made three from Sawyer Clement to get it to a 1-point game. Instead it goes against Julian Daboul, his third. And now a bench warning against Orange Coast here. Orbach able to get it ahead to Perez, who breaks the timeline. Back to Orbach now. Orbach beyond the three-point line, wanted to drive against Daboul. Canyons moving the ball around. Now Webb. Over to Perez, driving baseline. Off the window, no good. He and Chapman nearly knocked the rebound out of each other's hands. Chapman came away with it, couldn't put it back up. Perez got it. Now Webb gonna have to put up a deep three that almost went. Hit off the front of the rim, and then a foul called against Donovan Cornelius here. 90 feet away from the basket is second, and that's gonna put Orange Coast in the bonus. Canyons in the plus, shooting the penalty the rest of the way. Orange Coast shooting 1-1 here. Hussein, who's Just 2 of 4 from the line, trying to get into double figures for the 4th time this season. Makes the first of the 1-and-1, makes it a 3-point game. Perez off, Wyatt Wilson back in. It's been a tough day for Justin Perez, just 2 of 7 from the floor. Hasn't quite found his rhythm. Second from Hussein, no good. So it's a 1-possession game, a 3-point game here for Canyons. Orbach, good pass, but Chapman couldn't finish. It goes out off of Chapman. It's the second time today Chapman has been under the basket and couldn't finish like that. Kind of just shorted it. But it was good work from Canyons to get an open look. We'll see if they can get a stop here defensively. DeBoule over to Clement, driving baseline. Clement underneath DeBoule, an easy bucket. DeBoule now with 16. Cornelius, who's had a hot day today. Get it to Webb, now back to Cornelius. To Orbach at the elbow. Orbach trying to muscle his way down low. Off the window with the left hand, it's good. Orbach now in double figures. The lead back to 3. 56-51 Canyon, or 56-53, excuse me, Canyon. DeBoule again, inside, little baby hook is good. It's a 1-point game once again. Tend to shoot here. Orbach gonna work into a screen with Webb. Ball lost between Orbach's feet, and then a blocking foul called on Julian DeBoule, who was just laying on the floor, trying to dive for the loose ball, and Orbach will go to the line for a pair of shots. 73% foul shooter on the season. Fourth personal on Julian DeBoule, who's been the leader today with 18 points. Orbach misses the first. Bloodshot DeBoule off. Carabin along with Obiajulu back in. Orbach gets the second one to rattle home. Abdelnour will take over for Orbach here. 57-55. Canyons leading with 6:34 to go. Bad defense that time by Abdelnour as he let Clement square up to the basket. Clement able to take a half step forward and put it off the window and in, and we're tied at 57. Here's Wilson down low. Chapman wide open. Good vision that time from Canyons. Chapman now with 16. 7 of 15 from the floor today. Canyons back with a 2-point lead and a foul, an offensive foul away from the ball. A moving screen once again. Goes against Obiajulu, his 4th foul. And that'll bring him to the bench and bring DeBoule back on, bring Bloodshot back on as well, as Wilson goes back to the bench. So now DeBoule and Obiajulu each with 4 fouls. DeBoule in the game though. It's a 2-point Canyons lead, 59-57. Webb nearly had it taken away, kept the handle on it. Canyons will work it to the elbow to Wilson, back to Webb. Webb onto the far side, Cornelius. Cornelius back to Chapman in the corner. Chapman, a couple of stutter steps, now drives. Stop up jumper from 8 feet is good. 4-point lead. 5:25 to go. Winner takes on Mount Sac tomorrow at 5 p.m. in the championship game. Loser will play Trade Tech at 3 o'clock. The Cougar Holiday Classic consolation. An offensive foul for a push-off on Hussein. That's his 4th foul. So now Obiajulu, Hussein, Dabul, all with 4 fouls in the ball game. Wilson back in. So now you got 3 different Pirates with 4 fouls. 3 of their more effective guys here today. Abdelnour double team, tries to get to the baseline, got to the basket, gets it to fall. Abdelnour his first bucket of the day. And Canyons now with a 6-point lead. 63-57. Obiajulu will dump it off. Bloodshot in the corner, drives, kicks it back, or excuse me, to Dabul on the wing. Now to Bloodshot 3, a late closeout. Bloodshot knocks it down. Abdelnour a little late on the closeout. A timeout by Steve Spencer. It's a 3-point game with 4:42 to go. A timeout on the floor will break as well. (63-60), Canyons leading. Teams have traded leads a few times here today. Orange Coast led by as much as 10 at one point here in the second half, but Canyons has turned it around. Abdelnour, a little spin in the lane off the window is good. He's got 4. Lead is 5. Dabul back to work, spins into the lane, kicks it into the corner. Wilson for 3, no good. Abdelnour couldn't control the rebound as he and Bloodshot were tied up. And it'll stay with Orange Coast here. Pirates 24-51, 3 of 18 from 3. Canyons 25 of 52 and 5 of 16 from 3. At 5 of 16 right now is the difference. As that one turned over on the inbound by Wilson, it'll be Canyons basketball. Dabul will check out, Wilson as well. Obiajulu and Hussein both back on the floor, both with 4 fouls here. Webb ahead to Cornelius. Cornelius into the front court on the near side, now to Webb on the far side. Jump stop in the lane, gets it back Cornelius. Cornelius just drives with 2 big steps, lays it off the rim and in. Cornelius staying hot. He's got 19 to lead the way for Canyons. Clement couldn't get it to fall. Webb with the rebound. Got it to Cornelius. Cornelius dumps off Abdelnour. Now to Webb once again as Canyons will back it off and take their time. Abdelnour turned it over. It's an over and back via. I think they're going to call over and back here. Foul underneath on Canyons as Obiajulu on the rebound, that time off the miss from Hussein. Goes against Wyatt Wilson, I believe is what they said. Now that'll be his 4th foul. Perez and Orbach at the table 2 shots coming here for Obiajulu, who makes the first. Chris Obiajulu, 7 points today. Abdelnour and Wilson to the bench. Obiajulu misses the second. Athletic play from Chapman to save it. Canyons ahead on the fast break to Perez, who lays it in. And the lead now is 8. 69-61, 3 minutes to go. Canyons trying to get into the Cougar Holiday Classic final. They lost in the Clash at Canyons final in the opening weekend of the season. DeBoule gonna get to the line for a pair of shots. Foul goes against Perez, his second. DeBoule to the line, 18 points today, 1 of 2 from the line, 8 of 12 from the floor. He's been impressive from the floor today. Shoots 42% usually from the floor. Has had to carry the load, makes the first. Has a season high today in points with 19 now. His previous was 14 against Long Beach. Makes both, gave him 20. First time into 20-point territory for DeBoule this season. It's a 6-point lead. Canyons able to get it across the timeline. Webb double teamed, got it to Chapman, now to Cornelius. Bloodshaw staying tight with him. Cornelius backed him off for his second, now gets it to Webb. 10 to shoot here for Canyons. Webb gets it to Orbach. Orbach, Cornelius for 3. Stay hot, young man. Donovan Cornelius, give him 22. 3 for 3 from 3 today, and it's a 9-point Canyons lead. On the other side, DeBoule goes back to work. He's got 22. Chapman catches on a wild pass from Webb, tries to get to the basket, give him the foul here, and he'll go to the line. Chapman has had a tough day from the line, 1 of 5. That's the 5th foul on Yahya Hussein. So that'll bring Gavin Wilson back into the game. And we'll also see Michael Carabin back in to take over for Clement. So end the day for Yahya Hussein. 9 points, 4 boards, 3 of 10 from the floor. Chapman gets that one to bounce in. 2 of 6 from the line today. Usually a very good foul shooter, 80% from the line. But he struggled today. He's made up for it on the floor. 8 of 16 from the floor. Misses on the second. DeBoule working ahead. 73-65. 1:42 to go. Good hand by Donovan Cornelius. Boy, he's had a day today. 22 points, 3 of 3 from 3, 7 of 8 from the field, 5 of 7 from the line, just 2 assists, no boards, but boy, has he impacted the game. Nearly had a steal right there as he knocked the ball out of the hands of DeBoule. DeBoule then smartly bounced it off of Chapman, and it'll be Orange Coast basketball here. Perez knocks the inbound away. Carabin just a little lazy with it. So they'll change up the inbounder. It'll be DeBoule off the far side. Coast just in motion, trying to get loose, and they do. Ball isn't even in Bull's hands yet when they were in motion. Wilson will put up a three. It's good. Gavin Wilson finds a three. First of the day for him, his first bucket of the day. It's a 5-point game, 73-68. Timeout called by Orange Coast. A full timeout, they have one remaining. So Donovan Cornelius, 22 points, 7 of 8 from the floor, 2 assists. And a steal to his credit today. Donovan Chapman, 19 points, 10 boards, a double-double, his second double-double of the season. His first was 22 points, 12 rebounds against LA City last time out here at home. Has the double-double here today. And then Roz Orbach, 11 points, 5 boards for him, the only other Canyons player in double figures. Dabul with 22 points, 8 boards. Clement, 13 points, 3 rebounds. Those are the only 2 in double figures for Orange Coast. The Bulls played 30 minutes today. Cornelius with 32, the minutes leader on the floor for either side. (73-68). Canyons trying to pick up just their 3rd win of the season and snap a 4-game losing streak. Orange Coast trying to snap a 4-game losing streak of their own. They're just 1 of 5 on the road this year. Canyons' 2 wins have both come at home this season. Canyons in 2-possession games is 0-3. Orange Coast 2-1 in those 2-possession games. So that's where we sit right now. Canyons turns it over. Carabin able to come away with it. It's the Orange Coast trap. Now DeBoule trying to take Cornelius off the dribble. Got to the rack, missed it, got his own rebound. Turned it back out. Wilson throws it inside Bloodshot. Back to Wilson. Extra pass. DeBoule for 3 to make it a 2-point game. No. Rebound tipped by Perez. Found its way to Chapman. Fouled. He'll go to the line with 59.4 to go. Foul goes against Obiajulu. That is his 5th. So that ends the day for Chris Obiajulu. 7 points, 4 boards. Clement will come back in. Chapman back to the line for 2 shots. Can make it a full 2-possession game here. Makes the first. So it's a 7-point game. Inside of 55 seconds to go. Dabul, a 3, no good. Bloodshot, the offensive rebound to Wilson. Wilson spinning. Throws up a scoop shot that falls. And Orange Coast going to use their final timeout with 41.8 to go. It's a 5-point Canyons lead. Remember, tomorrow, 3 and 5 o'clock here from Lee Smelser Court. Consolation game at 3, the championship game at 5. Mount Sac waiting the winner of this game. So 41.8 to go. Canyons will have the basketball. And it's very, very important here that they take care of the basketball, we should say. As Orange Coast has been in that all day today, for the most part. It's created trouble for Canyons at times. The Cougars have been able to work their way through it. 14 turnovers on Canyons today. They need to make sure they get this ball in. They do have 4 timeouts to work with. And Howard Fisher going to use one of those 4 timeouts and call a full timeout here to talk about things with his team. So off the inbound, Canyons will get it in. Webb able to get it ahead to Chapman. Chapman underneath to Perez, but a blocking foul called on Wilson. That's his 5th. And so Wilson will go to the bench. Or scratch that, it's his 3rd, I'm sorry. But it'll send Chapman to the line once again. 33.8. Orange Coast did a really good job pressuring up ahead. But Canyons was able to get through it. Somehow Webb did not travel and was able to fire it ahead. Then Chapman drew the foul, makes the 1st. Chapman 22 points in the ball game today. Has matched his season high, which came against LA City College. Gives Canyons a 6-point lead, can get it back to a 7-point lead. Misses on the 2nd. So he's matched a season high of 22. Orange Coast with under 30 to go. Needing to get busy, trailing by 6. Orbach nearly had a steal. Chapman gonna get one instead. Spinning away, falling down, losing the basketball. Orange Coast needs to get busy. They need 2 threes in 10 seconds. They get it inside to Bloodshaw, but he lost it. Orbach will dribble out the final few seconds. Webb gonna dribble away from pressure, and Canyons is gonna pick up their 3rd win of the season and get into the Cougar Holiday Classic final to face Mount Sac. They win 76-70 over OCC in a good one. OCC will play Trade Tech tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Canyons at 5 against Mount Sac. We hope you join us for both of those. We thank you for joining us on both the games today. Have a good one. We'll see you on Saturday.